On Thursday, President Donald Trump's nominee to run HHS, RFK Jr., got grilled, and it got spicy.
If we want to make America healthy, will you assure the American people that you will fight to do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to every single American?
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? That's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money
from workers all over this country. Workers,
you were the
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie,
tax.
you were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but you have not answered last question.
Okay, so that got a little spicy, but is RFK Jr. right? Well, he is about many people getting a lot of money from big pharma, PACs, CEOs, and then, of course, they go on to pass legislation that prevents, for example, Medicare from being able to negotiate on all prescription drugs. Now, look, President Joe Biden had passed a bill that allowed a very limited number of drugs to be negotiated by Medicare, because that was after pharma lobbyists had watered it down, okay? Now, these pharma lobbyists, these pharma groups, literally from pharma, which is the lobbyist industry trade group, right, that constantly fight against efforts to not only allow Medicare to negotiate prescription drugs, which would bring the price of drugs down, but also they fight against universal health care. Now, Bernie Sanders, as a senator, he has consistently introduced legislation to allow Medicare to negotiate prescription drugs and all prescription drugs, and to expand Medicare to everyone. I mean, he literally ran on it during both of his campaigns, and he has not changed that position whatsoever. But did he take money from the pharmaceutical industry? Well, let's take a look. So the figures Kennedy cited likely came from OpenSecrets.org. Okay, it's a great resource, by the way, when you're looking up politicians and you want to see why did they vote a certain way. Well, generally you're going to see a pattern there when you look them up. Most politicians tend to vote based on the money they receive from lobbyists and special interest groups. Now, Sanders is one of the few that does not have that pattern. Okay. Now, Open Secrets said in 2020, Sanders received more than $1.4 million from the pharmaceuticals/health products industry. And for 2016, it says he got $439,000. Oh, but wait, did that change any of his stated positions? No, no, it didn't. Now, Open Secrets also noted that Kennedy's pharmaceuticals/health products industry contributions for the 2024 cycle were around $325,000. So wait a minute. Oh, yes. Sanders, you got more. But wait, you got $325,000. Does that mean that you were bought by Big Pharma? Or was it from workers, like what Sanders was saying? See, a close examination of that figure shows that, with perhaps just a few exceptions, the money in Open Secrets tallies came from rank and file employees. In both cases, by the way, that supported their respective campaigns, but did not come from executives, lobbyists, or PACs. So Bernie Sanders would be correct. Now, during his 2020 campaign, he had also pledged to reject all contributions over $200 from those PACs, executives, and lobbyists of pharmaceutical and health insurance companies. That pledge did not apply to donations from rank and file workers. Obviously, there's a big difference between taking donations from average people who happen to work in the industry, right, versus the CEOs, lobbyists, and the PACs who donate so they can get a return on investment. Okay? A CEO is not going to donate to a political campaign unless it benefits the company, unless it benefits himself or herself. So that's kind of the difference here. So at the end of the day, Bernie's not wrong. And again, even if you take money from the industry, right, workers in that industry, you have to look at the policy positions. Is Bernie Sanders still pushing for universal health care? Yes. Is he still pushing for allowing Medicare to negotiate for prescription drugs? Yes. That's it. So what about Kennedy, right? I mean, Kennedy, didn't he used to be in favor of universal health care? And yet he refuses to answer that question. Okay. So where does he get his money? A disclosure form filed for his nomination revealed that he managed to pull in about $10 million over the last year related to dividends from his vaccine lawsuits, his anti-vax speaking fees, and leading something called the Children's Health Defense, which is a nonprofit dedicated to misinformation about vaccine efficacy, right? So this is part of a cottage industry of people online that are grifting off, I would say, legitimate anger and distrust of the pharmaceutical industry. I don't trust the pharmaceutical industry. A lot of people don't trust the pharmaceutical industry. Now, that doesn't mean that the drugs that they are releasing are bad. Look, Bernie Sanders doesn't like Big Pharma because they gatekeep life-saving drugs behind paywalls and lobby to kill universal health care. I agree. RFK Jr., however, doesn't like it because he seems to believe in pseudoscience and debunked papers that blame autism for vaccines or on vaccines, okay? And so, and believes all sorts of crazy things, conspiracy theories that you get from like mommy blogs. So, I mean, to try to claim that they are the same or that Bernie Sanders is somehow worse and is a show for the pharmaceutical industry, like what RFK Jr. is trying to claim here, is absolutely ridiculous. There is a gigantic difference here. And one is looking out for average people, and the other, if put in this position, will end up doing a massive amount of damage to people's health. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.